Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time joining, thank you and welcome. Hope you will come back for more videos after you view this one. If you are a previous subscriber or a new subscriber, welcome back. Okay, so today what I'm going to be talking about is again the paper flowers I've been working on, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty distressing them in a way that I'm comfortable with. I have done a couple videos on the hauls that I've done on the items that I've purchased for doing this project. And I'm having a lot of problems getting the look that I want. I know the look that I want. I want the edges to be really soft. And if you're familiar with doing either scrapbooking or paper flowers, you'll know that distressing them on the edges just adds some nice touches to them. Also with the paper flowers, and these are actually paper succulents that I'm working on, distressing them gives them a little bit more of a realistic look, or as close as a realistic look as you can get. So what I've been doing is I have been experimenting with a lot of different techniques, and I am not happy with what I'm getting. I'm getting there slowly, and I've been experimenting, and I'm going to show you today what I have done so far. I'm going to tell you things that I like about that certain thing, and then what I don't like about that certain technique, I guess we can call them. Okay, so the first thing that I did is I have a lot of acrylic paints, and the acrylic paints that I have are the apple barrel paints, or the there's different names for the paints, but let me show you one of the larger bottles here and you'll know what I mean. So it's like these types of paints. These are the apple barrel ones, and they have, I can't remember all the other brands that they have. Joann's had their brand. Hobby Lobby, I believe, has their brand. But I don't know if apple barrel colors are still being made. I also purchased quite a bit off of Amazon in big packs. And I have a lot of those paints. So what I did is I knew that I could get some distressed look, or just some added embellishment to the cut sections that are when you build your succulent. So they, as you can see, they gradually get from a large size to a smaller size, and that's what these are here. And I will talk about this technique here in a couple minutes. But what I did is this was the first one I used, and this was just a sample. And you can see on the back that it was a yellow, kind of a really light orange cardstock, or a bright yellow cardstock. And I wanted to make this look like a succulent that had the bright oranges on the edges of the leaves. And what I did is I used this type of paintbrush, and you can see it's like a real, kind of like a boar hair. It's a real stiff bristle paintbrush. So what I did is I took some of my paints and I diluted them down with water, and I did this kind of like little feathering kind of effect on them, and then I put the succulent together. Now, I'm going to close this, it's bothering me, sorry. I did not like this technique. It does look pretty, and it may look pretty for florals, but for the succulents, it did not give me the look that I was looking for. So if you are familiar with succulents, you will know that they come in many varieties and different colors. from bright greens to dark greens to pale yellows to oranges to purples, really pale yellows with bright reds at the tips, and even blue. They have blues and purples. And I'm going to just bring up let's see, I know I have some images here, and so let me find a good picture here for you. So here are some really pretty ones that are the purple, and you can see that there. And in this, it's kind of like a lavender purple with a bright kind of almost a fuchsia pink along the edges of the leaves. And let me try and find you an orange one that I was trying to go for on this one. And it just, I liked it, but I didn't like it. So let's just add orange to my search, and you can then see some of the orange succulents that I was trying to go for. So, okay, so you can see on this one that the center is still like a really light yellow orange, and then the edges are a really brilliant red orange. And that's kind of what I was trying to go for on this one, and I just did not get it right. I think this one's a little too harsh. Okay, so this was with the bottled acrylic paints, and I was just not happy with it. So I'll keep this one and just kind of set it aside, you know, something pretty to look at. So then my next technique was I got these inks. Now these inks are, if you're familiar with distressing inks, they are, excuse me, I've had hiccups the last couple days, so my throat is a little irritated from it. So sorry about that. My voice kind of cracked. If you're familiar with the Distress ink brands and the Distress oxide brands, you'll know that they do make many knockoffs of those. And the Distress ink brands are pretty expensive. And I wasn't ready to make that commitment to purchase those. So that's what this one is. And you can see that, hopefully you guys can see that. Maybe move that light a little closer. You can see where the green, and then it's a little darker along the edges. And I did pinch the edges of the succulent points to give it more of the succulent shape. And I'm getting close to what I want, but I'm still not there. This one is okay for a really deep green succulent, and I am happy with it. So I more than likely will add this to the project that I am making. And I got that technique with using these type of Distress inks. And this was just a knockoff brand that I got on Amazon. It's a 24 pack that I paid just under $20 for. And this is what the ink pads look like. So it's a thick ink pad. And what I did is I did pieces of makeup sponge, and I blotted onto the cardstock. Now, that is one of the common ways that distressing florals is done. Well, being that I'm relatively new to the technique, I don't think I did too bad, but still I do not like the technique. And these particular inks they are supposed to be water soluble, but let me tell you, it took me a while to wash these inks off my hands. Probably 4 times of washing my hands, I finally got the inks off. Okay, so then what I did is I knew I have color pencils. So these are the colors that I picked out of all of my color pencils that I will be using. And I knew that I wanted shades of red, shades of yellow, purples with blues, pinks and yellows, and the deep greens. So I went ahead and I used my deep greens on this one, and you can tell the color of cardstock I used here was kind of like an olive green cardstock. And you can see on here, hopefully you guys can see that okay. I don't know if you guys can see it okay, but you can see that it is definitely distressed. I'm sorry it's glaring really bad, but I colored with a deep green, almost like a emerald green color pencil, and then I took a lighter, like almost like the same shade of the cardstock, and blended it a little bit. And then what you do is you take regular rubbing alcohol, and I'm just using a 91% isopropyl alcohol, and then you take a Q-tip and you dip the Q-tip in the alcohol and you blend the sorry, I just went brain dead. Luna's crying outside the door and my husband's trying to sidetrack her. She does not like closed doors. So what I did is I just took the rubbing alcohol and I blended the color pencils together. And isopropyl alcohol will work to blend color pencil together if it is a wax-based color pencil. If it's an oil-based color pencil, you will want to use either a like a paint thinner or something like that for oil base. I believe you also can use baby lotion, or I'm sorry, baby oil, and just a real little bit on a Q-tip so you don't saturate your paper with oil, and you can blend that way as well. So I tried this one, and I did pinch the leaves, and I used my shaping tools to get the curve of the succulent. So this one I'm really happy with. This one turned out good. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple ways that I did with the color pencils, and see what your opinion is on them. So this one is a really pretty kind of lavender purple, and I used a darker purple to kind of shade the ends, and you can see that. Oh, I am so sorry. It's like washing out. I don't know. Can you guys see that okay? I don't know why my color is washing out, but hopefully you guys can see that. Maybe on the white, maybe the white will help set it off a little more. Can you guys see that? I'm really sorry about the lighting. I don't know why it's doing that. So I think it's glaring with the wax of the color pencil, and it's just kind of reflecting light. Hopefully you guys can see the darkness on there that I distressed. And then these again were just rubbed with the rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip. And I'm not sure if I like this one yet until I distress the leaves a little bit and shape them and then glue it together. So that's that one. Then what I did is I got let me do this one. These have not been blended yet, the orange ones on this one, but I want to show you these green ones that I did with a red and like a fuchsia, and I'm going to put a couple here on the paper so you can kind of see the distressing that I did to give you an idea. And there are those, and I hope you guys can see. Can you see that okay? This one looks really good. This one did great. I'm actually going to pause for a moment and let Luna into the room because she will not quit crying. Give me just a moment. Okay, so there you can see Luna. She does not like closed doors at all, and she will sit there and she will cry at the door until you open it. She does not like being left alone. Even though my husband is in the other room, she just was not having it. Okay, ready? Are you ready? She's going to join us. So I was showing you how I distressed these ones, and you can see the this one turned out really well. I'm trying to look behind me on my TV that I have my camera hooked up to so you guys can see the distressing. I'm trying to see what you guys would see, and you can kind of see the distressing on that one. This one did not turn out too bad. I did color with a brighter, I think it was this color here, and it was actually a magenta, so it was really, really bright. And then I did, she's checking them out. I did a softer pink and then blended it. And these turned out really pretty. I do like these ones, and I do not know, again, if I will include these in the project that I'm going to be making. I may keep this one for myself. It's an ongoing process. So I'm going to move her so we can continue on, because I do want to show you how I did distress the flowers a little bit more with the color pencils. So come on, baby girl. Oh, she's such a good girl. Okay. Can you go over here? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to move these ones aside. And then what I did is I took another one of that kind of the, oh, actually this is a light yellow cardstock, and you can kind of see there in the middle the light yellow. And what I did is I just took a really pretty, I don't know if it was a pumpkin orange. What color was this one? This one was just a mango orange. And then I did a, I know I have it here, this one here, and it was just a regular orange. And I kind of blended the colors in together. The mango orange is when it colors, it's more of a yellow orange. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think I'm really washing you guys out on color. My color saturation seems a little bit off on the camera, and I'm really sorry about that. I will try to get that fixed. And then this one. So these are the two colors that I used. And let me color this one a little bit more so hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know if you guys can see those two colors. I will hold that up to the camera a little bit. And those are those two colors. And I'm really sorry. I don't know why all of a sudden my camera is doing weird color saturation issues. I hope my camera is not dying. So let's bring us some light back. So what I did is when I colored these, I did the brighter orange around the edges of the leaf and did the mango orange along the inside. So what I want to do is I want to start with my lighter or the smaller petal, and I've got a little tiny like shot glass solo cup, and these are perfect for doing crafts and painting if you just need a little bit of water or a little bit of whatever you're using. We're going to move these items aside. Let's go ahead and put these purple ones back in a bag just so we have a little bit more room. And get those in there. And so doing this video today, I was going to break it up into multiple videos, but I said, you know what, I'm just going to come on and I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on, what I've been experiencing, and let you guys see for yourself everything that I have been doing instead of breaking it up into multiple different videos, because I do know that with the videos I've been doing lately, they are all kind of one-sided topic. And I'm really sorry about that, but since I got my Cricut, it's a definite new learning experience for me. And doing these paper flowers is definitely a learning experience as well. Okay, so I got myself a Q-tip here, and I'm going to kind of twist with my fingers here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to bring some light back over here. And I'm making sure that the Q-tip, all the cotton on it is nice and attached to the Q-tip still. And I'm just going to dip it lightly so it soaks up the alcohol. And I don't want it dripping. I just want it damp with alcohol. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my petal and I'm going to start in the middle because I don't want the darker color coming to the center. I want the darker to stay on the edge of the petal. So I'm going to start at the center and work my way out. And if you bend the leaf a little while you're doing it, it's okay, because you're going to end up shaping. And you can tell that it is doing something by the little bit of the color pencil on the... You know what? I just realized I'm missing my other light. I'm going to pause a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm going to grab the other light. I will be right back. Okay, so I brought my other ring light over, and I hope this will help the lighting a bit more. What I'm going to do also is I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And let's try that. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys will be able to see a little bit better now. Okay, it doesn't want to focus quite well, but you will at least be able to see what I'm doing. Like I was saying, you don't want to bring the dark color into the middle. You want to, I'm going to just move a little over, and that way we're a little more in the zoomed in area here. You want to keep the lighter color in the middle and work out towards the edge of the petal. And this is actually supposed to be a round-leafed succulent. And when you distress it, you're just going to kind of like, with the distressing tool, and they disappeared, you're just going to, really, where'd they go? Oh my gosh, sorry guys. You just really want to rub in the center, and of course I'm going to have something else softer underneath here so it has a little bit of give, but you're going to distress in the middle and put some pressure, so it's going to cup the petal. So you want the darker part of the highlight on the petals to be along the outside. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I've just got my Q-tip again dipped in my little bit of alcohol, and I'm going to go from the center and rub out. And then when you get along the edge, you want to blend. You can do circular, and I don't really know if this one's going to work. This one is another trial. But I wanted to show you guys exactly what I was doing, so you guys could exactly see what it does. So you will get some squeak because it is a wax-based color pencil, and the alcohol, what it's doing is it's kind of breaking down that wax, so it's going to let you blend the pigment of the color pencil. Now, it might not look like you're doing a lot, but let me look a little closer here. It is working a little bit, so I really don't know. This one's going to be really hard for you guys to see, and I'm really sorry. This lighting just is not doing it. I don't know what's going on, but it is kind of softening the colors together. So if you can see on these bigger petals, you can really see the mark where the two colors are. So I'm going to show you on a bigger petal and see if it will work. So sometimes it does take a couple times to blend them together. And some colors I have found just don't want to blend. And I don't know if it's the type of color pencil, if it's maybe the stroke that I did when I was coloring it on to the cardstock. And I really don't think this one's going to blend accurately. I am putting a little more pressure when I'm blending. And really, this one is not doing anything at all. So all it did is really kind of like soften it and kind of maybe, I don't think it really did anything, truthfully. On this particular petal, I don't think it did anything. So I'm going to zoom you back out. So on this one, I think this one was a bust. So truthfully, it's taking trial and error on what is going to work best for this technique. Now, this one didn't work. It could be the color combination of the cardstock with the color pencils. This one I'm not happy with. So I'm going to set this one aside. Now I'm going to move on to the next technique that I did. So I know that you can get some really soft, I'll flip this over, you can get some really soft coloring with watercolors. So I went and I bought these 2 packs of watercolors. I purchased these from Walmart. This pan there's hardly any paint in it at all, and I kind of think I got ripped off on this one. These pans literally have barely any color to them, and these are a pearlescent paint, and I purchased this one. See, you can see that they're coming out. I purchased this one from Walmart, and see, that's literally how much paint. You can see that it looks like a little tray. There's hardly any paint in these little sections. So this was a pearlescent. These were Lang and Nickel brand watercolors that I got. I could have got the regular Crayola brand watercolors, but I wanted to go and use a little bit more of a professional watercolor. So I purchased that one, and then I purchased this one as well. And you can see all the different colors in this one. And I started working with the pinks. Now, some of it worked really, really pretty, and some of it didn't. And what I found with these is it was the color of cardstock that was a fail and a win, in my opinion. So I'm going to show you this one first. So I used this really kind of a light pink, and I really watered it down really well. I took the pink on a sponge dabber like this, and I just put little drips of water on it. And I dabbed it on there, and then I dabbed it on a Ziploc bag, so I would get the paint on the bag, and it would be more of a drier application than a wet application. I hope that makes sense. So I made sure that there wasn't a lot of water in the sponge applicator, and I actually squeezed the excess water out, and I would get more paint and I would dab it into the plastic bag, so I had a wash of color, if that makes sense. So this is what that turned out like. And hopefully you guys can see that this is a really nice, soft wash of color. So the watercolor on this pretty soft yellow cardstock worked well. So this was the trial piece that I did, and it even looks better on that side because it's just a really soft. I'm really sorry, guys. Let's see. I just thought maybe the background is what's washing everything out. Give me just a second. I'm going to pause and I'm going to move this cutting mat. Hang on just a sec. Okay, So I do think that helped a little bit. This is just on the, I just have some silicone mats here on the table. And that is just to keep my table clean. And I was showing you this one. And maybe you see how it washes out on the white. But if I put it on the, you can kind of see the pink a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see that. So there was that one with just a really light wash of the pink watercolor on there. So I decided I was going to try a brighter pink. So then my next brighter pink was this kind of like more of a magenta color again. And there was that one. And you can see I got pink on my purple. And these are the ones I did with that. Oops, there's another little petal in there. And I did a little bit different. Some of them have a little more color to it than the other one. And you know what, guys? I'm going to try something. I'm going to get a black piece of cardstock and see if the black piece of cardstock will help with the light absorption a little bit. So let's try that. I'm really sorry, I just don't understand what is going on with my colors here. I don't know if that helped any. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't changed nothing in the room, so I'm not sure what is going on. Can you guys see that color wash on there a little bit better? It seems like all the lighting is just really weird. Sorry guys, this video is probably going to be awful. Sorry about that. So there's that light color wash on there. I really don't know if you guys can see it. I don't. This is frustrating me. I'm sorry guys. So what I did is, like I was saying, I took the brighter pink and I tried it on these pieces. And you can definitely see the brighter pink on those. So it has a nice kind of wash effect on it. And this one worked well. So I knew that it was going to work well on the lighter colored cardstock, the yellow. I like how it looked. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get one of the green cardstock ones. And let me go ahead and move that one piece aside, and I'm going to stack these back up and put them in the bag. And guys, I really apologize. This video's really frustrating me because I just don't understand what's going on with the lighting. I don't know if maybe because the seasons are changing and the light coming in the window is doing something. I don't know. I will have to get it figured out for next videos because I will be showing you some stuff on the Cricut in the next video. Okay, so what happened was I liked the way it turned out on the yellow cardstock. So what I decided is I'm going to try on the green cardstock. And I wanted to try one of the green ones with the bright pink leafed edges. And that is how this one turned out. And I just don't like it. It looks too chalky. The paint looked really chalky to me. On the, maybe that side's a little bit better. You can kind of see on there how chalky it looks on this particular color of cardstock. And these 4 pieces that I did here are going in the trash. I will be able to salvage these ones and make a smaller succulent like this. And these are going in the trash. I'm just not happy with it. I tried, when I got discouraged with this one, I then went back to color pencils and I tried again. And what I did is I just kind of distressed these a little bit with a little bit of a lighter green cardstock. So you can see that there. Hopefully you guys can see that, the different color of cardstock. And then I took a bright yellow color pencil literally a sunshine yellow color pencil, and all I did was colored every single petal. And then took the alcohol with the cotton swab and kind of just distressed it and rubbed it into the paper. And it did give a nice kind of subtle color change on these particular leaves. And I hope you guys can kind of see those on there, where the yellow is on there. And this one worked. It's, at least this portion of it worked. So when I assemble this one and shape the leaves, I'm going to see if I really like how this one turned out. I may not like it once I shape the leaves. Okay, so after this, I got very discouraged again. And I'm thinking, this project is getting really difficult, and I don't want to just give up on it. So that one was a fail. This one I think may be okay, that I can salvage. And I have all of these that I have cut. I have a really dark olive green. I've got a really pale green, a Christmas green, and then like the green olive. This is like a darker green olive, and this is like a lighter green olive. And so I cut those, and while I was cutting all of everything, I went ahead and just started cutting some colors as well. So I have a blue one, I have another yellow one, I have a yellow one like the purple I showed you, I have an orange like that one, I have some pink kind of spoon-shaped leafed ones, another lilac, and then I have like this pink one, I have a green one, and you can kind of do the petals interchange color, one petal pink, one petal green. I didn't like that. I wanted them to be all cohesive. So there's those, and then what I did is I went and I cut some kind of leaves that are on like a stem. And that's what that one looks like. Hopefully you guys can see that shape. And then this one, I went back and I bought the files for the leaves because I wanted some leaves added to it just so it wasn't just all the succulents. So I purchased these and cut these ones out. These are the ones I liked. And because I didn't want really super thin stemmed ones. So I'm going to try these and see how these work for me. And so I have taken a break on these. I did these on Friday night, colored these ones. And another thing why I'm very discouraged on the color pencil technique is because it takes so long just to do one succulent. So this had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 layers to this particular succulent to make it into what it is. And I do like these ones. I do like those. I am going to include those. So I sat and I thought and I thought and I thought. I'm like, I'm going to have to break down, and I am going to have to go and actually buy the Distress inks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up, the Distress inks, onto my Amazon account so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I have them saved in my list, and I'm going to bring those up. Sorry, I'm doing it off camera here. So my list, come on, and Distress inks are okay. So this is what the Distress inks look like. The brand of them are Tim Holtz, 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 Ranger Tim Holtz Distress Mini Ink Pad Kits. This is it is a 3-pack bundle that has 4 in each pack. And I'm going to bring that up a little. You guys can see those there. And these are expensive, guys. These are really expensive. Let me show you here. So these, yeah, there's 12 in this pack, are 30 bucks. So that's pretty expensive. And I'm sitting there thinking, I am going to have to break down and I'm going to have to go and buy this Distress Ink kit to get the technique that I want. Now, I still wasn't, I may eventually get to that point that I do break down and buy them. I just don't know yet. So what I did is I did some research, and I am going to show you guys some things. If you guys want to see this technique, please comment down below and let me know first if you guys want to see this technique before I commit to making the video. If you don't want to see it, I'm not going to do it. The reason why I want to do it though is because all the videos that I found on YouTube about this technique are almost 15, 12, 10 years old. So it's not a new technique by any means. So I think if you guys want to see it, I will go ahead and do that. What I did is I went and I bought pastels. So if you're familiar with sketching, painting, anything like that, you will know about artist pastels. So I bought 2 different types. There is an oil pastel and there are neon soft pastels. The neon soft pastels, we're going to go ahead and open them up. I just had these delivered today. I ordered them yesterday and I got 24-hour delivery. So we're going to go ahead and open them up. And this is a pack of 12. And the colors are Floral Magenta. This is as you can see, a neon soft pastel. And I thought these would be really highly pigmented to do the edges, the very edges of the leaves. If you remember how I showed you on some of those pictures of the actual, see how it's like the edges of the leaves and they're softly kind of blended into the leaf. So there was that one. And let me go back one more. Go back. Let me find another one. So like on this really pretty purple one, see how it is literally a lavender purple with the magenta or the hot pink on the edges of the leaves. And I thought that I could do just the very edge of the leaf and blend it down in like I was trying to do with the orange. And that failed. So I thought I could do that with the pastels. Now, the colors in this one, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Look how pretty those colors are, guys. Oh my God, the camera's just not doing these justice. These are literally, this is like a hot bubblegum pink or like a really hot Barbie pink. That is so pretty. So it's got some foam over the top of them, and this is to keep them safe from breaking. You can see that the pad that they are in is actually a foam pad, and soft pastels are easily breakable. This is basically like a soft chalk pencil, and the colors on here are, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on so I can flip the box back over, and it is a Floral Magenta, a Yellow Orange, Floral Blue, Floral Fuchsia, Yellow, Violet, Red, Lime, Purple, Tangerine, Turquoise, and White. So these, oh my God, guys, these are so pretty. So I really like these. I really love how pretty these are. So hopefully you guys can really see that color in there, because these are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to try these, and I'm going to try this technique, and I will let you know what I think of them. Okay, so my next one was the oil pastels. Now, oil pastels, they can be difficult to work with some of the research that I did. This is a 50 pack, and I have never worked with an oil pastel like this before. I've done oil painting, but never with an oil pastel. And these are kind of like a crayon. Let's get this open here. And anyway. Okay. Oh. Okay, guys. That is... Oh, does it have a color card? No, it has a... I don't know why this wasn't on the top, but it wasn't. It was actually on the bottom, unless when I pulled it out, it just kind of fell. So that's what these look like. And these are actually a really waxy, oily kind of crayon. And they are made by the same brand that these are, which is Artecho, A-R-T-E-C-H-O. And these are a mid-grade pastel. They have artist grade pastel, and then they have student grade pastels, and then they have like professional artist grade pastels, where you're going to be paying a lot of money for them. These were very inexpensive. This one, I believe, was either $8.99 or $7.99, and this was $9.99 for, I believe, for 50 different colors. So 50, these are oil-based, non-toxic, vibrant colors, smooth texture, easy blending, and shading. So that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was going to be very easy to blend. When you are blending oil pastels, I can use a Q-tip. You can use a rolled up piece of tissue. You can use paper towels. You can use a smudge stick that for sketching. It's like a rolled up piece of paper or a cardboard, kind of like, and they are formed in these like little cones, and you blend with them. Some people call them stumps. There's an actual name for it, and I can't think of the actual name for them. But it's to blend the colors together. And there are so many different techniques. I think there are 8 different techniques that you can use to blend oil pastels. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be using a Q-tip blending technique, where I literally just, I'm going to show you guys here, and I'm going to use this beautiful blue. And I'm hoping that this is going to work. And I'm going to just do it on this piece of paper. And I'm going to just color just like that, and we're going to put that back. And you can see that it is just a simple line. I'm going to get a Q-tip, and I'm going to pray that this works. So what I want to do is I just want to, oh, it's going to work. And I am just rubbing it with the Q-tip. And you can see as I get a little lower, see how pretty that blended? See how where I did the line, and look, can you guys see that? I mean, it smudged perfectly to give me the soft gray, the soft kind of gradient ombre effect that I wanted. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I really don't know if you guys can see that. But it is so soft that it worked exactly what I wanted it to do. So that's that one. And let me try zooming you guys in again, because you guys just aren't getting the... Okay, so can you guys see that? There you go. There it's showing up. Where is it? There it is. Can you guys see that? I'm really sorry. The lighting really sucks, and I apologize. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one back, and I'm going to try one of these and see how these ones work. And I'm sorry, I am really out of frame. I don't usually zoom in, as you guys know. So I'm going to try this really brilliant pink to see how that works. And I'm just going to do the same thing. My gosh, what is happening to me? Okay, so you can kind of see that. And you can kind of see how it did a little bit of a powder right here. So with these soft pastels, you can actually take a little knife and kind of scrape off and do a powder blend. I don't want to do that because they can get very messy. Soft pastels are known to be very chalky and messy. So I'm going to take my Q-tip again and I'm going to blend. So I can do a circular motion to blend that. I can do my rubbing. And the further I get down on one of those leaves, oh my gosh, guys, this is going to work. Okay. See how, I mean, guys, literally, you can see how soft that is. That is the technique I'm looking for. That real softness like that. Because I don't want it to be really harsh on these leaves. I want it to be a really nice blended softness. And I think this technique is going to work for me. I'm going to zoom us back out. And guys, I truly apologize for the lighting. This should not have been as rough as it was with the lighting. Okay, so if you would like to see a video on blending these a little bit better, please comment pastel videos. Please do a pastel blending video, and I will work on that. I will work off camera first to try to get the lighting right, so we can really get these the justice that these beautiful pastels will achieve. This project has really gone on a lot longer than what it needed to because I was not achieving the technique I wanted. With any project, you are going to have learning curves. This project has definitely thrown me for a loop, and I have had a lot of learning curves with it. I seriously thought that when I started this project that it was going to be easy. I have experience in all kinds of art classes. I've taken some college course art classes. All through school, I took art classes. My junior year, I actually had 2 different art classes. I had a painting class and I had a drawing class that I took. So there was a lot of different techniques. Of course, that was 30 years ago. Techniques have changed. Some techniques have changed. And then some are just completely classic drawing techniques. And I knew through my experience that there were ways to achieve a goal that I wanted to achieve. And I just wasn't getting that. Partly my fault, because I wanted one product to work. And that was these. These were an epic fail for me. I did not like working with them. Now, will I keep them? Yes, because it's too late to return them. And I will use them in some other techniques because I can use them as stamps, because I do have a stamp pad that when I package my materials, I use that stamp pad, so I can use these. That will work. I can further practice with them to get other results on my cards that I will be making. So those will be used again. The color, watercolors will be, I will work with those on some other projects as well. I didn't even attempt to use the shimmers because I did not want to ruin the palette with a project that I knew wasn't going to work with just the standard watercolors. And that's what this happened with this color. Now, technically, the color pencils did work for some colors of cardstock. So the lighter colors of cardstock with this particular color worked great. The oranges, I just did not, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a bad color pencil. I have probably 4 different brands of color pencils. Let me show you guys here. This is my color pencil tub, and it is literally full. And I've got Crayola in here. I've got the cheap Rose Art brand. I've got, I think most of them, Crazy Art. And for what I usually use color pencil for, these were fine. I got these for coloring on adult coloring books. I'm sorry, I could not even think of the word. So I got those, and that was for that. I also have another, I'm looking over here off to the side. Let me show you guys. I bought another pack of color pencils, and that was these. And these are Art Skills, and I can't remember where I purchased these ones from, and I haven't even opened them yet. I haven't even used them yet. This might be from Walmart. It might be from Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure where I got them. Oh, look, guys, look at the succulent right on the back of the pack. So see how the shading is on that? That was the effect I was trying to get, and I just wasn't getting it. So these are actually, I can't remember how much I paid for these, but I haven't even used them yet. So there's that one as well. I literally have a lot of cardstock or color pencils, and that technique didn't work for me. Well, okay, sorry. Let me refrain. It's not that it didn't work. Some of it did, but then there was another, there's pros and cons to each technique that I have found. One of the cons of the color pencils is it takes a long time. It literally took probably 4 hours to color these, and because you have not only color the top, but you color the bottom as well. So you'd color the top and the bottom, because you're going to see the bottom, you're going to see the bottom of the leaves on some of them. So that technique just did not do it for me. What else? What else can I tell you? I think I found what is going to work with the pastels. Again, if you want to see more of this, please let me know down below. Either comment, can you please show us more of this technique? Can you please show us the oil pastels and the neon pastels, the soft pastels? I will not be doing any more of the watercolor. It did not work. I will not be using the impression ink pads. I didn't like working with them, and I just don't like it. I don't like it, so that is a fail for me. I don't want to use them, and maybe in the future I will use them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them in their little plastic case. I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag so they don't dry out. And I'm going to continue with the pastels, because wouldn't you know it, the last thing of course, doesn't that always happen? The last thing you try is what works. And this is so pretty. So the oil pastel, the chalk pastel worked really pretty. And I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing over here off to the side, but it's really hard to move my camera. Luna is literally sitting in front of my big screen TV. I have my camera connected to my big screen TV by an HDMI cable, and that way I can see what you guys are seeing. And the lighting, look, wow, look how white that is. Even my hands are white. Okay, guys, but she's sitting in front of and she's following my hand on the screen, so it's kind of funny. Okay, enough of this long rambling video. This was basically a video completely on my frustration. This project should not have been as frustrating as it was, and you know what? Truthfully, guys, this may be fine. This may be fine, but what we say is we are always our worst critic, and I think that's really true, because how many techniques here have I showed you? The ink, the color pencil, the different techniques of color pencil. I think I did 2 or 3 different kinds of shading, of not shading, the ink. So 1, 2, 3, there's about 4 or 5 different techniques here that I tried, and I do really think that the pastels are going to be the winner. If so, again, comment down below, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get this video editing, and I am really sorry that this video was so long and dragged so long to get to the final result. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know projects that you have tried to do that have either turned into a complete epic fail, or you know, what you guys have experienced. Let me know what you guys think. Constructive criticism is always constructive criticism, not mean criticism, is always welcome. Let me know am I being too hard on myself? This I hate. This one